Hey legends, what's up? It's Darkmech here and the Mage Tower is back. Woo! So patch 10.0.5 brought the Mage Tower back, and good news, it's easier than it was in Shadowlands for Blood DK specifically, which this video is about. Some of the other classes like Warrior and Prop Paladin, it's a little bit different, but for Blood DK and Bear, it's now a lot easier than it was in Shadowlands, certainly not dismissing it though. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of that today. There's a couple of things I want to cover off before we cover off the commentary though. If you had a Siege of Orgrimmar time walking set that you were using in Shadowlands, you will have to go and re-farm that now if you want to use the socket cheese for the tower, which is nothing wrong with that. If you want to make it as easy as possible, go nuts. Your old time walking set will be level 47 now. The new scaling in the tower is 120. Siege of Orgrimmar's gear is now dropping at item level 126, but your old gear didn't change, so you will need to go back to Siege of Orgrimmar on Mythic, run it, get your sockets, and do it that way. MOP Dreadful Crafted Gladiator gear is 163, so that's fine. Your Legion Legendaries are 163, like your Pride Asses and things like that, so they're all good as well. If you want in-depth guides to the Mage Towers for all the classes, I did do them on the channel. They still hold up from Shadowlands, going over consumables and every enchant and the things you can do like that. This video today is just, it's back. Here's how to do it, nice and simple. Now I'm only using Dragonflight gear. I'm not using any consumables, no pots, no drums, and I'm not getting any orbs. So there are certain things that you can do if you're struggling to take off this video and then make it easier for yourself, like consumables, like the socket gear, using drums, using the orbs and things like that. You don't have to. The only reason I'm doing no orbs and no consumables and things like that is because I'm a wanker on YouTube. You're not, so you don't have to worry about it. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Let's walk you through this and let's get you that skin. All right, legends, let's get stuck into this Mage Tower challenge. Now, I'm not using any consumables or any pots. I couldn't get rid of this Howling Rune, so I guess I've got that on, but no pots, no hero, no orbs. I'm just going to show you the bare bones of this fight, and all of that stuff when you add it in will make it easier. Now, talents wise, just to quickly pause on this here, you can run stock standard build here, okay? M+ build is fine. The only change I've made here is I've taken Asphyxiate. Now, you could either, if you wanted help with the ads, Blinding Sleet is great. It's also great for a ranged interrupt. I'm using it just to stun Cruel so I can Grief Torch it. Asphyxiate also gives you more control as a stun and things like that on Varus to lock down Mind Rain casts. You don't need it though. If you didn't need Blinding Sleet, you could also keep Permafrost and then take Asphyxiate, or just not take Asphyxiate altogether. Completely up to you. Right side of the tree stays exactly the same. Purgatory's a nice safety. Not really required though. If you wanted to dump Purgatory, you could pick up Bloodworms for a little bit of extra juice. It's completely up to you. Now, things you'll need is a Focus Mind Freeze macro and a Focus Asphyxiate macro. They're in the comments below. It just takes the pressure off having to worry about selecting the right thing to interrupt. Gear, all stock standard here. I'm not running any time walking set. I'm running Grief Torch and Whetstone. That's about it. So starting off here, I just want to pause it straight away and talk about this big black circle around Varus here. It's called Aura of Decay. So it's a big black circle. When you enter it, you start gaining stacks of Aura of Decay, which reduces your max HP by 10% per stack. I'm in my burst here. I'm going to go up to 7 stacks, and then I'm going to move outside and use AMS. I've also got Asphyxiate to lock it down. Otherwise, general rule of thumb, 4 to 5 stacks max of Aura of Decay. Jump out of it, wait for the stacks to drop off, then get back in. Varus will also be doing a Drain Life every now and again. It's a heal, as it sounds. You just need to make sure you kick it. If a cast goes off, or a couple of ticks, sorry, if a full cast goes off, you're fucked. But if a couple of ticks go off, you're okay. Varus will also be casting this Mind Rain cast. It's an interruptible and stunnable cast. You don't have too many stacks of Aura of Decay, you're going to be fine, so don't worry about that. Kicking the Drain Life there, and here comes the Mind Rain cast. I'm going up to 7 stacks here in my burst, and then I'm going to jump out. So just wanted to get full value of my abilities there, basically. You can see these little shadow doorways that have opened up the top here of the screen here. These are going to spawn out these ads called Nether Horrors. They'll spawn during phase 1 and phase 2, and they do the same thing each time. Then when they hit you, they'll stack a debuff on you called Psy Talons. It increases your arcane damage taken by 10% per stack. They'll also cast a Nether Storm ability, which is pulsing damage. All you need to do is pick them up quickly, and when they go to cast that Nether Storm, just move away because they plant their feet. So here they come now. They die so quick at the moment. Nether Storm's coming up. So this Nether Storm here will pulse damage, but they won't move while they're in this cast and when they're channeling. So all you need to do, just move away. Just make sure an NPC's not on them in phase 2. If that's the case, or if they're over Valen, make sure you Blinding Sleet to get them off and disrupt them, because they won't auto recast it. So that's pretty much it with them. I'm just going to move away with them. I'm outside Aura of Decay at the moment. I'm going to hit it with a Grief Torch, kicking this Drain Life, and that's pretty much it. Then the Nether Horror will come and find me and it'll die really quickly. So going up to 4 to 5 stacks of Aura of Decay again, and then I'm going to jump out. You can see these Infernals will land on the platform throughout this. Your goal is to generally go through to Cruel, the second phase, with like 1 or 2 Infernals up. The Infernals, when they get in range of you, will do this massive frontal. It's really easy to sidestep. Have Goblin Gliders in case you're going to get knocked off the platform here. But basically, when you see one, let it get in range of you. As soon as it casts Smash, just move off to the side here. So you can see it's going to get in range, cast Smash, and I'm going to move off to the side. These little eyes will spawn, Inquisiting Eyes. Or Tormenting Eyes, sorry. They'll look at you with Inquisitive Stare, which is a green beam that links to you, and then they'll channel. If you're not facing the eye when that channel finishes, it will punch you backwards. So just be aware of your positioning there as to if you can let that happen. Nether Storm going off, I'm going to sink a Blinding Sleet into that and get the Drain Life as well. Dodging around these, just getting as much damage as I can into Varus here, and then just moving out of the Aura of Decay while I let it drop off. The eye is going to pump me back, but I got plenty of room here, so I'm not worried about that. Those little orbs up near Valen, if you run into them, they will full heal you and they will stun everything on the platform, so you can use that if things are getting a little bit hairy as well. Just be aware of that. A nice little tip in picking up the Nether Horrors when they come out is get over and Death Strike or get a Blood Plague on them to start healing up and generate some healing aggro. It will cause all of them to come to you at once, rather than having to sink into the middle of the platform to try and get to Valen quickly, where they'll go and beat him down quite fast. So you can see there, I hit one with a Death Strike, I got everything to run over to me, killed them, and then I can run back in and push Varus over, and then I can get Cruel to come down, which we're into phase 2. Now when Cruel comes down, this is going to be where you sink your cooldowns, your drums, your pot, because this is kind of the dangerous part, and it's generally where people tend to lose their mind a little bit. So Cruel's down, I got 2 Infernals down, I'm going to A-bomb them, which is going to grip the Infernals into me, so just make sure if you're doing that, that you're watching out where that slam is. Cruel will do a Nether Stomp, where he'll jump to your location and he'll leave green shit on the ground. You just need to make sure you move out of that. Cruel will also hit you with a couple of other abilities, and I'll just pause it so I can cover them all off at the moment. So he'll do that Nether Stomp, jumps to you, green circle slows you, you just need to move out of it ASAP. One thing that's already happened is Twisted Reflection, and this is an interruptible cast that you need to kick on Cruel. So I might just wind it back just a little bit so I can talk about this while it's coming up. So here comes Twisted Reflections here. You need to kick this. If it goes off, Cruel heals for 5% of HP each hit he gets off, and basically is your attempt over if this goes. So just keep that in mind. He'll also hit you with Annihilate, which is a large physical damage hit, and the debuff, it leaves a debuff on you that stacks and increases the subsequent damage of each Annihilate. You need to have a plan to manage them. You're only probably going to take 3 Annihilates though throughout this whole encounter now. So the first one you can wear with nothing, you can just Death Strike at forehead. Second one can be Vamp Blood, the third one can be IBF, and you'll be sweet from that. So there's that Twisted Reflections, just making sure that I'm kicking it. The Nether Horrors are spawning as well throughout this phase, remember as well, so just making sure that you're gathering those up quickly and killing them. Big thing to watch out for, if they go to cast that Nether Storm and Corvos is in range, make sure you disrupt that cast or you move the boss away so Corvos gets away with them. I used Blinding Sleet there, stun them all, and then I punted a Grief Torch into them. Second Annihilate here, Vamp Blood, not any worry. Nether Stomp happening, just moving around the outside here. You've got the orbs too. The orbs will stun Cruel, they will full heal. You've got these cutter beams coming across. Don't get distracted by the cutter beams, just jump over them. They are just a distraction to play with your brain. They push you if you get stuck in them, but just jump over them, nice and easy. So that is it. If you've got any questions or you need a hand with this, hit me up in the comments below. I am here to help you with this. I've got full in-depth guides up on every tank for the Mage Tower from Shadowlands if you want a full description around that. But otherwise, this is just a walkthrough. I hope this helps. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all next time.
Legends, if you really want to help me out and support the channel, please consider pledging to our Patreon. Tier 3 and above will see you getting your name at the end of every single video we create, as well as some hidden perks in the Discord. Thanks so much.